The Trump administration and the tariffs has created ripples in the European stock market. European stocks tanked by 5%, further deepening a global market rout. Indices were in free fall, with Paris diving more than 6%, London sliding nearly 6%, losses of more than 5% in Amsterdam and Oslo, and Milan down over 3%. Frankfurt opened more than 10% lower as investors grappled with the possibility of a recession. Despite the market chaos, experts remain optimistic. They believe Europe will emerge stronger from this crisis.
For the German market as well as the Asian market, the minus signs are currently just as big as in the USA. Nevertheless, we do of course still have other options. Seen in this light, the European Union is strong and large in itself, but Asia is also large, and we naturally also have opportunities to trade elsewhere. I believe that Asia and Europe are more likely to emerge stronger from this crisis, the exact opposite of what Donald Trump actually wanted.
In the coming days, the EU plans to present a united front against US President Donald Trump's tariffs. Such a move would mean the EU joining China and Canada in imposing retaliatory tariffs on the US in an early escalation of what global experts fear will become a global trade war. Earlier, the European Union President Ursula von der Leyen said she hoped to avoid a trade war with the US, but Brussels has a strong plan to respond to Trump tariffs.
Our objective is a negotiated solution. But of course, if need be, we will protect our interests, our people and our companies. And I want to be very clear on the aim of our response. We think that this confrontation is in no one's interest. The flow of goods and services between us, the United States and Europe, is nearly balanced. Of course, we are willing to work on the trade balance of goods as well as on the trade balance of services. This is the largest and most prosperous trade relation worldwide. We would all be better off if we could find a constructive solution. At the same time, it also has to be clear. Europe has not started this confrontation. We do not necessarily want to retaliate. But if it is necessary, we have a strong plan to retaliate, and we will use it.
Last week, President Trump announced a slew of reciprocal tariffs on more than 180 countries and territories, including a 20% tariff on goods being imported from the EU and 10% on goods from the UK. All right, EU is mulling counter tariffs against the US. Let's talk to our correspondent, Ross Cullen, who is in France. He's joining us live from Paris. Good to see you, Ross Cullen. Despite the optimism being expressed by EU member countries and the leaders of EU, the markets are really not doing very good.
Yeah, the markets are having their third consecutive day of turmoil, their third straight day in the red. Let's take a quick look at some of those leading indices here in Europe, starting in Spain with the IBEX 35, that's down 5.4%. The MIB in Italy, 5.9%. This is just a couple of minutes ago, the latest data from Germany showing it's off by more than 4.9%. And here in France, the CAC 40 leading index is down 5.1%. This is another day of falls as investors look to shed their shares where they can and try to lessen the load, because we are seeing this reaction ongoing to Donald Trump's tariffs. When the Trump administration announced those on Wednesday, there was, as many people expected, a day of market unrest on Thursday, but that was followed straight up by Friday. And now we are seeing the Asian markets closing down, the European markets on course for their third straight day down, and we are expecting there could well be an opening in the red for the three main US markets when they open in under an hour. What's happening right now here in the EU, aside from the market turmoil, is that trade ministers are meeting in Luxembourg to discuss their ongoing response to the announcement of import taxes by the US government. There is a key date in the diary, which is this Wednesday, the 9th of April, and we do expect EU members to vote on their response to the first tranche of tariffs from the United States. This is not related to Wednesday, this is the previously announced aluminium import tariffs. There will be potentially another vote on the 13th of April for further reaction to the tariffs that have been imposed by the United States, and on top of that, this 20% blanket tariff announced on the 2nd of April. So there is a lot for the EU to consider. They're not rushing into any response. It will be hard to find unanimity though, because we have already heard from Italy and from Spain that they are urging a more cautious response. We did also hear at the start of that trade talks this morning in Luxembourg, the leading figure for the European Union when it comes to trade, the Trade Commissioner Maroš Šefčovič. Going into that meeting, he said that what is taking place right now in relation to the reaction to the imposition of tariffs is a paradigm shift for the global trading system.
All right, that is Ross Cullen. He is our correspondent in France. Ross, we'll have to leave it there. Let's see how this meeting pans out in the long run. Thank you. For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.